Welcome back to another easy English mystery story with questions. Today's lesson is going to be called The Secret of the Stone Wall. Let's go ahead and get started. It was a chilly Wednesday afternoon at Silverford Castle, an ancient stone fortress located high up in the mountains. The castle was famous for its hidden tunnels and historical legends. Today, two passionate treasure hunters were exploring the grounds. Marcus, a seasoned archaeologist who wore a heavy leather jacket, and Elena, a young history student carrying a large digital camera. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the lowest level of the castle, the dark underground dungeon. The castle supervisor, Mr. Finch, hurried down the winding stone stairs to see what had happened. Before he arrived, he found a massive hole in the back wall of the dungeon. Behind the broken stones was a completely hidden secret library that had been sealed for 400 years. Both Marcus and Elena were standing near the hole, breathing heavily. Instantly, both of them claimed they were the one who originally discovered the secret room. In the world of archaeology, discovering a hidden room brings incredible fame and wealth. Mr. Finch knew that one of them was telling the truth and the other was trying to steal the credit for the incredible historical discovery. First, Mr. Finch listened to Marcus's story. Marcus wiped some gray stone dust off his leather jacket and smiled confidently. I was examining the ancient wall carvings with my flashlight at exactly 2:00 p.m., Marcus explained. I noticed that one of the large stones looked loose. I pushed it with all my strength, and the entire wall collapsed, revealing this secret room. Elena only arrived after she heard the noise. Next, the supervisor turned to Elena. She was holding her digital camera tightly and looked very frustrated. That is completely false, Elena shouted. I have been studying the old blue blueprints of this castle for months. I calculated the exact location of the hidden library this morning. I used a small hammer from my backpack to gently loosen the center stone, and the wall crumbled. Marcus was on the other side of the castle. Unsure of who to believe, Mr. Finch called Inspector Thomas, who happened to be nearby checking the castle's modern security systems. The inspector walked into the damp, dark dungeon and looked at the massive pile of broken stones on the floor. He didn't ask for their notes or blueprints, knowing that anyone could lie about their research. Instead, he decided to look closely at the physical environment. Inspector Thomas first examined the secret library inside the wall. It was filled with beautiful ancient wooden desks, historic scrolls, and leather books. Everything inside the room was completely covered in a very thick white layer of dust that had accumulated undisturbed over 4 centuries. The air inside the room smelled incredibly old and dry. The inspector then walked back out to the dungeon and looked at the two suspects. He examined Marcus's heavy leather jacket and flashlight. Then he looked at Elena's clothes, her backpack, and her digital camera hanging around her neck. Finally, the detective looked down at the floor where the wall had collapsed. A sharp smile appeared on Inspector Thomas's face. The true discoverer of the hidden library is clear, Inspector Thomas announced. pointing directly at the young history student. Elena is telling the truth, and Marcus is lying. Marcus looked furious. That is impossible, Inspector. I told you. I pushed the heavy stone with my own hands. How can you prove I didn't? The proof is right on your face, Inspector explained calmly. When a wall that has been sealed for 400 years suddenly collapses, a massive cloud of ancient, blinding dust rushes out of the room. Elena is wearing protective plastic safety goggles on her forehead, and her face is clean. But you, Marcus, are wearing nothing on your eyes, and you don't have a single speck of dust in your eyes or on your eyelashes. You didn't break that wall. You walked in after the dust had already settled. Marcus looked down in shame. Marcus and Elena smiled proudly. All right, let's do some comprehension questions. Where did this mystery story take place? The story takes place in the underground dungeon of Silverford Castle. For how many years had the secret library been sealed inside the wall? The library had been sealed for 400 years. What did Marcus claim he did to make the stone wall collapse? He claimed he found a loose stone and pushed it with all his strength. What covered everything inside the hidden room because it was sealed for so long? Everything was covered in a very thick layer of dust. What specific item was Elena wearing that proved she was the person who actually broke the wall? She was wearing protective plastic safety goggles on her forehead, which kept the massive cloud of ancient dust out of her eyes. All right, great job. Let me know, how many questions did you get right? Tell me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily English lessons. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.